let's go ahead and dive in. We're going to talk about how we can get customers now. Now, if you want to connect with me on socials, you sure can. Look at the very bottom left-hand corner. The first handle you see is me on Twitter or X at Maria Duron, or at Marketing Coach Maria is me on Instagram. So feel free to connect with me. I would love for you to connect with me, and I would love to be able to give you some visibility by sharing out your story or retweeting or reposting you or sharing you in my story. So please do connect there. Hello, we're not in Mercado Food Hall, McAllen. Oh, you're in McAllen. Welcome. Glad you're here. We know that over 50% of people are using 5 or more different devices or different sources whenever they're making a buying decision. Consumer behavior has changed quite a bit. When you think about it, we all have gone through 2020 and behavior has changed dramatically. Because if I asked anybody before 2020 for a video call, for a Zoom meeting, they would have looked at me like, Maria, you've grown a third head. I don't understand what you're talking about. I would just meet with you on the phone or in a coffee house, right? Now we're all Zoomed out. We're all used to this. But before 2020, we were different as far as how we consumed information and how we would actually do business and conduct business. So because of that shift, we now look at 5 different sources. And have you made the shift with what you're doing and the information you're providing your potential customers and your current customers? Because do understand that SEO, search engine optimization, has changed drastically over 2023 and then even the start of 2024 with the incoming and the advent of AI, artificial intelligence, and oh boy, I tried to say that too fast, artificial intelligence powered search. We also know that of the trillion searches that happen every single day on Google, that now there are 15% brand new searches that were never seen before. Never, ever seen before. That is big, right? Of all the searches that happen on any given day, 15% are novel. They're brand new. So what does that mean to us? We need to know and understand our customers' behavior is changing, and it's on us. It is all on us to be experts at our customers. So we really need to understand their decision journey, what our path to purchase or their path to do any business with us, even if we're a nonprofit. So purchase, when I say purchase, it could be somebody that is becoming a friend raiser, a volunteer. That could be also somebody who is sponsoring. So again, when I say purchase, it's something that you deem successful from people who you're interacting with and how you grow and move your business forward, right? Hello, Irma. I see you here as well. Thank you. Welcome from Alpine. So since before 7 years ago, people utilize Google Lens. Excuse me. So what Google Lens is it's on most Androids, and of course it's in the iOS and the Play Store. So you can go to the App Store and the Play Store and go ahead and download it. And it's a visual search. So it's where you point your camera, you point and take a snap picture of it, and it goes and searches visually. Now, we know in 2020, everybody got really visual, right? Everybody was watching TikTok for a really long time. So when we see 12 billion visual searches through Google Lens, that's an AI that's been in existence for, as I said, over 7 years. And you'll even see it in Amazon with Amazon searches. We see people snapping things, and you can see that picture and you can see where it's at on Amazon. Well, you can do that throughout Google search, and it's been happening at the tune of 12 billion. So are you visually there? Can people find you that way? If they don't put any text in, if they don't say, hey Google, hey Alexa, and they're just snapping photos of things, do you show up? So this is really important, because if you're not visible, then people don't know to do business with you, right? They can't even consider you. And even though we may, as we post things, do things on social, hope that we're going to get some business, hope is wonderful to have, but it's a poor strategy. So the best way I can explain all the changes that are happening with SEO and things that are occurring because of AI powered search, right? AI enabled search is that we are at a point that, much like not too long ago when electricity became consumed by everybody in the nation, there was a time when electricity first was introduced that people were unsure about it, that people didn't even think they needed it. They had kerosene lamps, they had wood stoves, and they worked during the day, so who needed light at night? But there was a major shift, and it's the same thing with AI. We have search, we have other things, but now with this shift, we have another way of doing things and another way that people are looking for either a product, service, or solution. And we need to keep all of this in mind and really understand what these changes mean for our actual customers and how we do things. Because while we may be doing the same things in our business, so the role we have, the way we do it is different. The way we interact, just like here on Zoom, really seriously think about that. How many of you would be here on a Zoom meeting pre-2020? So before 2020, would you have ever done that? We were all forced into that, and now it is the norm. So one thing that has become the norm since 2020 is people are expecting personalized services, personalized experiences. We expect as customers, as consumers, that you know us. And that's why it is on us to be experts on our customer. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. All right. Most things that are the same and they are totally telling something's changed. Yes. Yes, there are so many things that have changed. Well, when you think about it, right? Think for a moment. Before 2020, how many of us got DoorDash or Uber or curbside delivery? In 2020, that major shift happened, and then people scrambled. I mean, I worked with a lot of brick and mortar businesses, and they were just like scrambling for business. So, what did they have to do? They launched curbside delivery. Now, when they launched curbside delivery, it was new. We were excited. We were happy to use this. How many of us expect curbside delivery now? We expect it. We, in fact, are shocked when somebody doesn't have curbside delivery. We expect to be able to get something delivered to our front door. In fact, we're shocked and even sometimes upset with a business when they don't provide or access delivery, or they're not connected to DoorDash or to Uber or to Grubhub. So we have a heightened expectation because of what has happened and the changes. Just like when Amazon came on the scene. When Amazon came on the scene and we all understood then that we could get things shipped either same day or 24 hours later and for free shipping, didn't that shift the marketplace just quite a bit? So because of those heightened expectations, think about that for a moment. What are your customers expecting now that maybe you have never done before, but they are feeling like, this is missing it. And even though they may be extremely happy with you, now they're looking at other things because there's an expectation there. Yes, the meeting is being recorded. Yep, the meeting is being recorded. I don't record with Zoom. Zoom is a very poor recording experience. So I actually record directly on my actual, it's going to be clear 1080p. Zoom is very, very crunchy audio. So that's why I record just here. So I don't use Zoom recording at all. So you will get a recording, Dennis, after the event. It'll be this afternoon, as well as the slides if you haven't gotten it already. And I'm going to drop it one last time there so everybody has the slides too. So you can follow along, okay? So it's on us to understand our audience, right? And really understand what it is that their needs are and their expectations, and that we're not only fulfilling their needs, but we're providing that product, service, or solution that they're searching for. Then we can develop those marketing strategies around that when we truly understand who our customer is, and we can create an action plan. And I like 28-day action plans because those are short bursts enough for us to see goals actually set and then goals achieved. So there's some measurement going on, because if you're not measuring, you're not marketing. $1 or 1 minute spent that's not lifting the bottom line or getting you closer to your goal is $1 or 1 minute spent too much. So it's important for us to be able to measure. So in these short bursts, then we don't have these just big, hairy, audacious goals, right? Those big BHAGs, because a lot of times we'll say, okay, we want to make $1 million at the end of the year, or maybe we just want to make more money. Well, one penny is more money. And is that what we are looking for? Are we specific with our goals so that we can start aligning everything that we do and we can measure is what we're doing now making us closer to our goal? In fact, there was a time when I used to have that pop up on an actual task pop up that I had, and it was WIN. It was the WIN principle, W.I.N. So it was an acronym, and it's what am I doing now? What's important now? So that's what it stood for. What's important now? And is this moving me closer to my goal, or is it just busy work? Because there's a lot of people who are busy, but are they profitable and moving closer to their goal? So part of what we need to understand is what our customers' challenges are, what their needs are, and truly get to know not just this person here, not just this target. This was targeting in SEO prior to what happened in 2020 and with the onset of AI, artificial intelligence. But we need to understand everybody who can buy our product and understand what they're looking for about our product, right? Who's interested in that? What are they interested in? What is it in the what's the benefit of our product that we like? When I'm working with email marketers even, or even website designers, and I'm talking about the buttons that you have on your website and calls to action, I explain it's more calls to outcome now. What is it that they want? So it's not just buy now. What is your product going to give you? Move faster. So it might be next to these shoes, move faster, support your arches, be able to protect your feet, right? So that could be what the call to action actually is, instead of just buy now, shop now, right? We all want to shop, but none of us want to be sold. So we definitely want to know what is in it for me. And we need to be able to address that for our customers and know what their questions are. So today we're going to be talking about how you can be an expert on your customer. What is it that you need to be listening to and looking for from your customers to really understand them? Then we'll talk about how you can level up with Google search, because if people can't find you, they can't do business with you. We'll talk about analytics, data-driven decisions, because those all help us know our customers. So Google Analytics is a free tool, and understand that everything that I'm talking about today is 100% free with a free personal Gmail account. So if you don't know how to access that, just let me know in the chat box. But you have access through your free personal Gmail account to all the tools that I'm discussing today. Google Analytics measures and tells you how people behave on your site, so how people consume information. Imagine that you're a shop owner, okay? And let's say that all morning long, people came into your shop and went from aisle 1 to aisle 3, and then they just took off and left, didn't buy anything, 1, 3, all morning long. And then in the afternoon, they would come from aisle 1 to aisle 4 and aisle 3, and then they would buy. I would have questions as a shop owner. I'd want to know, is it the morning people that are different from the afternoon people? Is there something on aisle 4 that is convincing them that they need to do something, or something on aisle 1 that kind of makes them question that they need to go see that item on aisle 4? Or is it a specific need they have? I'd have questions. Well, that's what Google Analytics is doing for you. Because let's say they come to page 1 and page 3 of your website and they leave and they do nothing. 1, 3 all morning long, and then in the afternoon they go to page 1 and page 4, I would have those same questions. So that's truly what Google Analytics does, is it measures how people are behaving and consuming information on your site, and it lets you know exactly more about your customer and their behaviors and what their likes are and what they're looking for. And then also it'll help you with data-driven decisions. And as always, I'll end with a free recap and resources. So we need to know our customer's journey, right? It's on us to know that, because then we can assist them from avoiding any pitfalls. And that actually helps position us as actually being an expert at what we do. When we can find customers before they're in the looking zone, it gives us a chance for us to really showcase how we can help them and help them avoid any pitfalls, because we know this path. We are experts at what we do. So we know what they're looking for, but we also need to become experts on what it is that they actually need. So think for a moment. When you're in the looking zone, you shop by price. Most of us do. And it doesn't matter how amazing somebody is. We will do business with whoever, because it's become a commodity at that point when we're in the looking zone. But if you can take one step back from that looking zone and help people as they're preparing for that, helping them to know what to look for, to avoid pitfalls, to be able to get those extra bonuses or things that they may not even consider. Now they will see you as an expert, and they will step over dollars to be able to do business with somebody that they know, like, and trust. So what does that journey look like? What kind of information do they need? I told you at the very beginning, they look at 5 different places, 5 different sources before they make a decision. And where are they on the awareness as a customer? Do we know, do we understand buyer awareness? A lot of times people talk about the funnel, right? We know about the funnel, which is awareness, consideration, right? To be considered, to be credible. Conversion, that means a success action on your site. That could be watching the video, filling out a contact form, sending and emailing you, watching or reading your reviews. Okay, so filling out your contact form, it could be any of those things considered a conversion action. That means something successful on your site, or buying from you. If you're selling things on your site, buying from you too, booking a call, all of those could be success action, conversion actions. And so that's awareness, consideration, right? Conversion, and then of course customer loyalty. So that's the funnel. That's the marketing funnel that we know it. But we don't ever stop long enough to think about our customers and our buyers' awareness. And it's important for us to do that because it doesn't matter about this amazing funnel we may have if it doesn't matter to them. If our information is not aligned with where they're at, they're not going to listen to us because there's hundreds upon thousands of other sites that they can go to and look for information. So let's talk more about levels of customer and consumer awareness. Let's see, I get Google Analytics, but I do not know what they mean. Oh, definitely. We actually do a whole session. Ask the Google partner that invited you here, and we'll do a whole session. It's actually a two-part session because there's the beginning and advance, but it's make better business decisions with analytics. So definitely, Annette, we could do that for you. And then do I get Google Analytics for each yes, for each website. For each website, Brian. Exactly. That's what you would do. You'd want one for each website because it's measuring the behavior of each site. Think of each site as your storefront, right? So that's a store, one store in and of itself. You could know what the whole shopping mall is doing, but you definitely want to know, especially as the owner of a store in a shopping mall, you'll want to know exactly what's happening there too. For each social campaign. Oh, for each campaign? No, I mean you can set up Google Analytics to track each campaign. There's a great way to. I mean, in fact, I highly encourage you to do that. Anytime I post, I want to know exactly where it's going and who's looking at it. All right, so let's talk now about levels of consumer awareness. There is level one. They are just unaware. Life is hard. This is just the way it is. The struggle is real. This is not in their even purview that there is an issue or they need to look for a product, service, or solution, right? They're just unaware. So if you come in hot talking about, well, you've got this problem and this issue, and they're not even aware of it, are they even paying attention to you, right? How many of us have, we see some sort of medical something pop up on an ad on YouTube, or maybe we're watching some TV, so we're watching Amazon or Netflix and something pops up and it has nothing to do with us. You got a UTI, you've got this dysfunction, nothing to do with us. We walk away. We don't listen. We tune it out. The same thing with your customers. If they are unaware that there's any issue, they're not looking for that information. Number two is they are problem aware. Something is wrong. They don't know what it is exactly, but something's wrong and they're going to look for solution. They may go to Hey Google, Hey Alexa. They may actually start looking at different places, different sites, but they are now aware. They may even go look on Instagram or TikTok, because a lot of Generation Z does, to discover and look for potential products, or that if other people have problems like this, right? So we always look for that. Now, everybody do know I'm going to answer a lot of questions at the end. I try to keep it interactive, but if it takes a sentence to write it, it takes about a minute for me to read it. And all you see is the top of my head. So it's not a good learning experience for you. So I'll save those to the end. And if the thread moves up, I may ask you to repost it. Okay. So I don't want you to think I'm ignoring you, but it's really tough to read something that's way too long right now during an interactive session. But I do want to answer and understand everything about your question after. So number three is solution aware, right? Solution aware. So they know, all right, I've got a problem and there's some solutions there. So now they're starting to look for those solutions. What kind of solutions? And then all of a sudden they move into product aware. Now all of a sudden they know, oh, there's not just a loose solution, but somebody packaged it. It could be an actual product. This is going to help prevent leaks, or this is going to help make your hair curlier. It could also be that they're product aware that, oh, this is what you need. This is a whole maintenance program. So I can make sure that my air conditioner doesn't go down when it's 100+ degrees in Texas, right? So this is a maintenance package that I can work with. So it could be that they productize it. So now we're aware that there's a product. But number five is the sweet spot where we want to live when we know our customers really, really well. And that is, again, when they know us. Not only do they know that they have a problem and that there's a solution, the product is out there and we are the provider of the product. We are the ones to go to, right? That is where it's a nice sweet spot for us to live. But it's important for us to understand, where do we engage best with our customers? So I work with a lot of businesses who need Google help. And what I tell people whenever I'm meeting them, they said, exactly what do you do, Maria? I said, I'm a Google trainer, but truly what I do is I help people who are business owners who think Google's a pain in the butt, okay? They just have worked with it and they think it's a pain in the butt. That's who I work with. They don't have the time for it. They don't have the energy. Now, if somebody is brand new and they've never used Google before, so they're a new business owner and they've never used Google, that's probably not a best customer for me. And my messaging's not like that for them because, and this is the reason why, I have to bridge the gap between that you need to get people who are experts at what they do. So what I run into when people are doing that, when they're new and they've never done anything in Google, so they've never gotten frustrated with Google, they've never tried, is they think they can micromanage. They'll go, oh, I listen to a podcast and I think this is the answer. So I don't get to help them quickly because they want to discuss and brainstorm all different things that I know aren't going to work. So I like to work with people who like working with people who are experts. They usually have accountants, bookkeepers. They know they're not experts at what they do and that micromanaging them will take them out of their own personal zone of genius. So they want to stay there because they're experts in their industry. They know their industry. I know Google. So again, for you, who is that customer? Have you defined them that well? Do you understand them? What do they want? Look at that bottom left-hand corner. Why are you the answer? Okay, you need to be able to connect those dots for them quickly. It's not a long story. How are you the answer? How do they get that? And how do you help them get that? So you need to understand bullet points 1 and 3 are saying, how do they reach out online to do that? And how bullets 2 and 4, bullet points 2 and 4 there on that bottom left-hand corner, why are you the answer? How do you help them get that? Okay. It's really important for us to understand our customers. Now we can also, if we have customers, we can do things like utilize Google Forms. How many of you have used Google Forms? Let me know with a number 1 in the chat box if you've ever used Google Forms, because it's a great way. It's 100% free. There you go, everybody. And you can utilize Google Sheets. You can actually put all the answers in Google Sheets and you'll see everything there. So you can get feedback from your customers, right? So you can take a look at that. Or you can read your customer reviews. A lot of times you guys have heard me, if you've been with me in a session before, customer reviews are gold because in their own words, they're letting you know what matters most to them. They are talking about only the things that are most important to them. While there might be hundreds of things, while people will find you and find benefit from you, this is what your customers are saying are most important. But if you don't have customer information yet and you're still looking at reviews, you don't get reviews yet, then you can go out to your competitors and read their reviews, right? Yes, so if you want me to show it to you, I'm happy to show you what Google Forms looks like and where you can look at that information. I can do that, towards the end. But if everybody's comfortable with that and they know how to use that, it's a great free tool that you don't have to pay for. I always like free or small fee, especially when you're a bootstrap or getting started. So that is something that you can use to find out more from your customer or reach out and ask them. That's truly the superpower we have as small businesses, is we actually know our customers' names, right? A big company may need to do a focus group. They may need to get a committee together to even find out what the customer's thinking. And we're right there. We know them. We usually know them and we've seen them at the gas station, in the grocery store. We know our customers. Hey, I wanted to take a moment to give a shout out to our sponsor, Shortform, which is a wonderful tool to help you be able to work smarter, not harder, by being able to take tremendous amount of information and get to the actual gist of it. Really, all of the key points, from blog publications to articles to actual videos in YouTube to books. You have all of that available to you through Shortform, and I've got a free trial available for you utilizing this link. Every week I do the Google update, which every Wednesday the audio format comes out in our free community, and then on Thursdays you get it by email. How I'm able to do that, because I look at 65 to 70 different sources, again from video to actual articles and publication, is I'm able to utilize Shortform to help summarize and look at exactly what is the key points that would be of most interest to me and whether or not I should delve in deeper so that I can apply how you can actually apply that as a small business and content creator, making the most use of an update for you. I utilize Shortform. Feel free to use this link for your free trial. If you decide to subscribe also using that link, you'll get 20% off, which is great because for the price of one book, you have access to all of this, and it truly is very focused and complete. It is the best tool that I get to use, and I wanted to share it with you. Thank you again to Shortform for sponsoring many of the audios in this video. So search is important, and we're going to talk next about how you can level up in Google search, because that's our storefront. You've always heard that. If you've ever been in any retail business, you've heard the words or this chant: location, location, location. It's so important. Well, the location that happened in 2020 was online. And if you didn't have an online storefront, so if you did not have a website or way for people to connect with you, then you were out of business as far as they're concerned. In fact, just a small tip: the last time you posted on social is the last time people considered that you were in business. So just keep that in mind. I'm not saying to be on all socials, but the ones you're on, be active on it and know why you're on it. Are your customers there? Or are you just there, again, hoping to get more business? Remember what I said about hope. And then it also ends with pages of answers in search. So I do want to go out here and do a live demo for this part, because I want you to see where you can see a lot of your answers. All right. So I'm going to go to google.com, and I'm going to bring this up on a separate screen. So give me just a moment, because I am switching screens and I don't want to lose you. All right. When you go to Google search and you start typing here, so somebody just drop their business in here. Okay, just drop one of their, what business, what industry are you in? If you don't want to put your business name, just the industry that you're in. All right, raw power fitness. Okay, so we're going to say fitness, power fitness, or I'm just going to say fitness center, because think about how people search for you. See how what's happening here as I start writing, see how that auto fills all of those words that you're seeing now. Of course, I am actually in my Google account. So I'm in my actual Google Chrome Google account, and it's picking up my actual location. That's why I'm seeing fitness centers near me, fitness centers Midland, Texas, because I live in Midland, Texas, at the base of the panhandle of Texas. So you can see here that it is actually auto-populating with the words that people are searching right now. You've heard the word keyword. A keyword is what are the words or even a whole phrase that people are searching for to find a solution or to find information. It is what they ask of, whether they type it or whether they say it. And right here, what's autofilling in your search is actually showcasing to you what people are searching right now, what's popular right now. Now I'm going to try to go incognito here real quick. Let's see. All right, I'm going to stay signed out. Let's say fitness. Okay, still pulling it up, so it's still pulling that. I'd have to wipe everything out. I don't want to do that when I'm broadcasting. But I just wanted to showcase to you what that looks like. All right, so let's say I'm going to go to fitness centers near me. It's going to bring up first ads. See those sponsored right there? That's an ad that you're seeing right there. Oh, right. Oh, perfect. Love all these different businesses. Everybody's dropping. I love, love, love. Thank you for using that chat box. Then you'll see this here. This is also an ad. What is this here? This is called the local pack. If you want to know the technical name for it, it's the local pack. But these are all your Google business profiles. So businesses that have Google business profiles, whether you have a location or not. So do not believe the myth that if you're home based, you have to put your address on Google search and maps. You can suppress it. If you're by appointment only, or maybe if you're, let's say, a carpet installer and you do everything in, let's say, a warehouse, it's not meant to be public facing, you can absolutely utilize Google business profile and still show up in your local area and not have your address there. Okay, so you can do that. But a lot of people leave that and don't even use it because they have all of these myths about it. But this is where you show up if you are in the local pack. So if you're showing that you serve this area, you don't even have to have a location in this area. You're just showing you serve the area, right? So they could suppress that. Let's say if I'm a personal trainer and I work from home, but I go out to all the different gyms, or maybe I go to your location, or maybe I do this within a church or a gymnasium. So I might do that. And again, I'm still showing in the local area. That's the local pack. A lot of AI search comes from here. So AI pulls a lot of its search information from Google business profiles. That's why I tell people, don't believe the myths, at least have one, because that's where AI is leaning into. Then you can start seeing here what are known as local search results, right? These are the local or the organic search results. So it's showing locally because I happen to look at fitness centers near me, right? So as I scroll down here, what else do I see? People also search for. In these little boxes are also the keywords that people are searching for actively, the most popular ones. So just like in that drop down menu I was showing you, right here is also the answer that you're looking for in keywords, because it takes a tremendous amount of time, energy, and money to get people to look at one thing when their eyeballs are here. So if their eyeballs are here, why are we spending so much time looking at other things, right? Or trying to put out other things and post other things that aren't aligned with what's already in their radar? If we can show up where their eyeballs are already, their attention is, then why aren't we showing up there? So we need to understand that. But also here, see, people also ask, these are also the top trending asked questions right now happening around fitness, the topic or the search of fitness centers near me. This is it right now. So are you posting? Are you doing all your TikTok videos, Instagram reels and stories, your YouTube shorts, all of this around this content? Are your blog posts around this? Your emails are sending out, because this is what people are paying attention to. And it is definitely around your product, service, industry, or solution. Okay, so that's why I spent the time to show you that there are actually 3 places just alone in search that you can already see the answers to what people are actually searching for. All right. Okay, let me switch screens again. There we go. All right. So see how the business profile hangs out there, nice, good visual real estate there in the right. We need to understand Google search. It's important for us, because while Google is not the World Wide Web, it is the biggest library of the World Wide Web. And when we do right by Google, it's good for any search engine. Bing, right? Firefox, Yahoo, any of those, it works well for any search engine when you make sure that you know that Google feels confident in you, and then when it's confident, it shows you up higher in search. The reason people utilize Google is because they feel confident that they're going to find the right information when they're ready to buy. Now, even Gen Z, all right, Gen Z and Gen Alpha, which is younger than 13 years old, will utilize TikTok. And I know not a lot of them aren't supposed to be on there, but they're there. So they'll use TikTok and Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, even Snapchat to discover things. But when they're ready to buy, when they need additional information, when they're actually going through now consideration, they still go to Google. So what is it that you're doing to make sure your site's visible? You need to be doing some search engine optimization, because if it's not visible, then people don't know you exist and they can't do business with you. It needs to connect with your customer. Everything leans into helpful user information. So helpful information to people who are your potential customers. So when we look at search engine optimization, we have to ask that question, do keywords still matter with AI? Absolutely, it does. AI is just a tool, right? It is a tool, like a hammer is a tool. I don't expect to just lay a hammer down and say, okay, build me a house. I can't do that for AI. I've got to put my expertise and the knowledge that I have on my industry behind it to be able to ask questions, to find out more about who my customer is, how to be able and how they purchase, what's the top of mind for them. I need to know all of those things. And then once I know all of those things, it can help me with brainstorming. So it can help me with keyword strategy. So again, you're the marketer. You know your business. AI is only an enabler. It's just another tool. So there's a question here. Somebody said, if we create a landing page with SEO phrases, first, never just do just SEO phrases. I want you to make sure that you are writing everything for a person who is going to read it, your potential customer. If you're trying to game Google by just filling things with SEO phrases, it's not going to work. Google has been really wise to that, and a lot of people who did that for a living and are now seeing, or sites that have had people working on it who are SEO experts are seeing their sites drop in ranking, because Google is very wise to that and the algorithm picks that up. And it doesn't take long to populate in Google as long as you put it in Google's library. We're all in charge of putting it in Google's library. I know a lot of people throw up and publish things. So they throw up things on site. They don't throw up. They throw up things on site and they actually hope that Google's going to find it. And while Googlebot is wonderful, remember what I said about hope? It's a poor strategy. Wonderful to have. So now what do we need to do? We need to enter our own content into Google's library by using Google Search Console. That's 100% free to us, but a lot of people don't use that. They just throw it up there online, hoping that somebody's going to find it. And Googlebot's usually pretty good, but it can take 90 to 180 days, and I don't have that kind of time to wait. When I post something, I'm ready to do business right then and there. So I want to make sure Google sees it, because if Google sees it and feels confident, now it'll showcase it in Google search. All right. So Make sure then, as you know your customer and you know what they're looking for, that you publish great content. Align with them. What are their challenges that they're having? Understand what, maybe even focus on what are the biggest 3 challenges that your customers are actually having right now. Think about that for this quarter. What are the 3 biggest challenges that your customers have or encounter when they look for your product, service, or solution? All right. And then think of what are your 3 core beliefs. What do you stand for as a business, as a brand, as a freelancer, as somebody who's a consultant? What is it that you stand for? And how do you align what is it that they need and what their challenges are with what you provide that you really, really focus on, that is your genuine superpower because you truly are rooted in those beliefs? Now, that's when you can put great content out because it's aligned with what people are looking for, the challenges that they need, their product, service, and solution. It's the right kind of awareness level that they're ready to receive that information. You can add titles and descriptions because titles and descriptions actually weigh heavier on Google because Google sees that on a site and they realize that somebody who wants to emphasize and is going to give a little bit more information about that because it's a title and it's in the description. And make sure your site is organized because a lot of people throw things onto the website, to the homepage of their website. They just throw it up there hoping that people will see it because they thought about it. They added a new product or service, doing something else, and they treat it like a junk drawer. And a lot of times people will leave. In fact, 78% of people leave a website because it's disorganized when they get to the homepage, or they went, let's say, from a social post expecting to go to something directly as far as the information they're looking for. Let's say they're looking for a recipe for tomatoes, and you take them to the front page where you're talking about growing tomatoes, and they have no interest in that, nor do they have any interest in searching for that information. Plus, you've also broken trust because you've not done what you told them you're going to do. You told them you're going to take them to the recipe for tomatoes, so take them there. Also, we have to consider the technical aspects of our actual business. Remember what I said about location, location, location? And if you think of this as your storefront, if your store always opened late every day, so I showed up there, you said you open at 9 o'clock, you've got flowers, I want to buy flowers and plants, I'm there at 9 o'clock, and you're not open that day till 9:04. And then maybe the next time I get there and you're open at 8:59, but the next day I get there and you open it and it's 9:17 because the pickup line was horrible at school. I'm not saying there aren't valid reasons, but I am saying that when it's not consistent, then you break trust, then people don't believe that this may be the best solution for them. The same thing with your online store. Location, fast load time. People want their actual websites. You've got to load in 1.2 seconds on a mobile device. If you take longer than that, you'll lose over half of your traffic, 53%. So over half. And for every second over, another 10% you'll lose. So it has to load in 1.2 seconds on mobile. All right. And it needs to look good on all devices because I might be, let's say, taking my kids to school. And so I'm in the pickup or the drop off line. I'm looking at my phone. Now I go to the cafe. I throw it over to my laptop or my tablet. I go to the office. I throw it to my desktop. And then when I get home, I throw it to my smart TV. If I'm looking at your brand, at your online digital property, it needs to be able to adjust for each of those devices, which means that it's mobile friendly and mobile responsive. Understand there is nothing that you can do that is, aligned with your customer that's just amazing, that if you are not mobile friendly or mobile responsive or your site's not secure, Google is not going to show you up in the first search at all, the first 10 searches. So the first page of search is the 10 organic search results. It's not going to show you up there because you are not mobile responsive and you are not secure. So you're penalized in Google search. Those are first order of business before anything because that's your store credibility, your online credibility. And it's part of Google's pillars. There are 3 pillars that Google search is built on, and one of them is prominence, okay? So as we look at Google Trends, this is a tool also that we can use to be able to help us be seen. Now, how many of you have used Google Trends? Put the number 1 in the chat box. Okay, so Sarah asked, how does changing up our website, I see that question now, impact Google search? Well, Google doesn't see it unless you've entered it into the library. Google bot can find it in 90 to 180 days, and it's usually really, really good, but I don't like to rely on usually. I like to just go ahead and enter it into Google's library. So as you move things around, and if people look for something and they don't find it on your site because you moved it or you deleted it from your site, then to Google, they read that they just left your site. That's a bad interaction. So they're not going to show you up as high in search unless you've already entered the new information or the changes into Google. So now it's updated its search results, and it can feel confident that the information is correct. Okay, what do you go to see Google Trends? All right, so when you're in Google Trends, or where do you go? Sorry, where do you go? You go to g.co/trends. I'm going to drop that here in the chat. Let me spell trends correctly. There we go. You go to Google Trends. Now you can see the words and phrases people are searching for, what's popular, and you can compare that popularity, right? You can go through all of that and take a good look. You can even find relevant products, seasonal terms, all of those, seasonal trends. So I'll see if we can get to showcasing you what Google Trends looks like. How is info entered into Google's console library? You go to Google Search Console is exactly where you go to. So it's g.co/search console. And that's where you enter into Google's library. You need to prove that you're the owner of that website. But once you do that, then you're entered in. Let me give you a small hint though. If you connect your website with Google Analytics, you've already verified to Google that you're the owner of that site. It's much easier to get verified for analytics first. And then now that analytics is connected to your site, when you go to Google Search Console, it usually can read that connection and makes it a lot easier for you to make that connection because it sees that you are actually the website owner. Both those Google tools are confirming that. When Google's tools can confirm with each other, it actually brings you up higher in search because it feels confident. So that's low-hanging search engine optimization. When you connect all your Google tools together, YouTube, Google Ads, Google Search Console, Google Merchant Center, Google Business Profile, when all of those are connected now and they all have the same information, Google feels more confident to show you up higher in search because it trusts its own products, right? All right, so now we can explore through Google Trends. We can take a look at this. I'll showcase what that looks like just in just a moment. Let me go there. Got to switch screens again. That takes just a moment. All right, here we go. So at Google Trends, you can see, let's say if I'm looking for fitness center, I can look at fitness center and I can see for the past day, but let's say it's just a little bit in the past day. These are the states that are looking for it. This is what they're looking for. So if you ever wanted to be in front of a trending topic, you see trends a lot on TikTok and you always think, wow, if I could have been in front of it, you are right now here because breakout means it's just now. It's starting to rise just now within the last day because this is looking for the past day, what the search has been since the start of the early this morning. So it's looking at the breakout terms. And if I were doing Google Ads, I would definitely utilize these because it's breakout, which means people are showing it and they're looking for it right now. But Google hasn't, they don't consider this an expensive keyword for an ad because it's not popular yet. When it's highly popular, then it becomes highly competitive and expensive. So you can look at Google Trends and see what people are searching for. But let's say we want to know for the past 4 hours, where are they looking? Okay, so they're looking mostly in Arkansas. If I'm in Arkansas or if I'm targeting any messaging, Arkansas may be the place that I'm targeting. And this is what they're searching for, all these different fitness centers, gyms near them, and they're looking for, again, fitness center near me. So if I ran a fitness center, any kind, even if it was something that was very specialty, I would definitely want to have something showcasing near me because people are looking for that. Well, because they want to be able to get there quickly. They don't want to travel another 100 miles to get there, right? They want to be able to do that. Now, let's say I want to know in the last 30 days on YouTube, what are people posting about in YouTube about Fitness Center? Because if it's showing up in YouTube Shorts, understand YouTube is a #2 search engine. The #1 search engine in the world is Google. #2 is YouTube. It's a search engine and the #2 social network in the world. So when you look at this, now I can see what are people posting about because I want to again show up. Remember what I said about it taking time and energy and money to get eyeballs to look away from where they're at. So this is where the eyeballs are. So I might want to look and say, okay, Elite Boxing Fitness Center. So I could say, you know, I don't do elite boxing, but maybe we offer boxing at our fitness center. So I could say, if you're looking for a boxing fitness center in your area, those could be all the posts that I do. It could be that I walk you through our fitness center. So I'm doing an actual video, a short video, which means it's within 60 seconds. And understand, just so that you know, because a lot of people will ask me this, you know, on TikTok, there's 1 billion search views of video, actually every single day, 1 billion TikTok videos seen every day. And on YouTube, just shorts, because there's long video on YouTube too. There's long ones, instructions, you know, how to fix things. but there's also short form video, which is vertical and 60 seconds or less. There are 70 billion views every day. 1 billion to TikTok, 70 billion to YouTube. So I like to be where the eyeballs are. And so again, you can repurpose your content and use it on TikTok, but I wouldn't miss YouTube. And this is how you can take a look and see what's happening in YouTube. You can also find out if your competitor was Planet Fitness. What are people searching for to see them? So maybe I can get some of those eyeballs looking at me. So let me find out. The red is Planet Fitness. So Planet Fitness, they're wanting to know how to cancel their fitness membership. Now, if I'm not Planet Fitness, I'm going to tell them, hey, when you come to our fitness center, it's easy to cancel. You are able to do this and that. You're in control of this. But we want to make it so you don't, because we want to make sure that you commit to the goals. However I want to word that, I'm still going to use this search phrase. So that's a keyword phrase because that's what people are searching for, right? Total body workout, if that's what they're looking for, that's what they're searching for. Leg machines. So they're looking for leg machines. They're looking for deadlift. They're looking for chest press machine. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now, when you see plus 4,650%, that means it's not only broken out, but it is now very popular. People are looking for this. So if you've got an app that connects your fitness center to somebody's Apple Watch, I definitely would talk about that because it's what eyeballs are searching for right now. Does that make sense to everybody? I hope that's helpful to you to see how to utilize Google Trends because that's free to do. How do I find my customers? My customers are parents with infants 5 years old and special needs. Oh, okay. So let's say if you're looking for your customers, how do you find them? Well, have you guys used Google Gemini at all? Let me know with a show of one in the chat box. Okay. Let's go to Google Gemini real quick. It is Google's AI, but you can utilize any AI, all right? Just so you know, you don't have to use just Google's AI. Oh, am I on the right? No, I'm not in the right Google account. Hold on here. You can utilize ChatGPT. You can utilize Claude 3. You can use any of those to help you with this. But let's go here. Okay, now I'm going to bring it front and center. Sorry, I was on another screen, just making sure that everything was working well here. All right, this is Google Gemini. And, oh, let's see, that's not where, no, it's not. Hold on. I drug over something not correct. Hold on here. Thought I was in Google Gemini. Try that again. Here we go. I'm sorry, guys. It takes a little bit when I'm switching. All right, here we go. Try that again. Oh, it doesn't like that. All right, Google Gemini is not playing. Oh, I see what happened. Okay, it just had a pop-up that covered us because I tried to make it bigger. All right, there we go. This is Google Gemini. So let me go back to the question here. How do I find my customers? All right. Tell me what parents with infants to 5 years old with special needs are looking for right now. Now remember, this is leaning into Google search. What are they looking for? Emotional support. So now, if I'm in Google Trends and advocacy support, specialized care, they're looking for inclusive childcare and preschools. Now, I would definitely want to know that. Okay, I would want to, let's say, inclusive childcare and preschools. Let's say I'm thinking that I want to know what they're searching about here for that. Let's go back then to Google Trends. Let me pop that in here. Okay, oh, because I can't spell, I copied and pasted not correctly. I didn't take the I in, so they're not looking for inclusive. They're looking for this. Okay, not in the past day, but let's look at the past 30 days. Maybe inclusive child care then. Okay, there's some searches. So I need to think now and understand what words are they using. Here you go. Child care for special needs. Let me try that. Going back to Google Trends. Nope, didn't take that. I didn't copy and paste. That's operator error. Childcare. Yep, maybe not that one. Autistic childcare, autism childcare. Maybe this. Okay, so you see how you can start looking at things. You can put lots of different comparisons here. That's a search term that they're looking for. See how the red is childcare for special needs, autism childcare. So I see that happening. Where are they happening? Where are they talking about that? Now I might need to expand it out more because 30 days, maybe they've looked in the last 90 days. Okay, 90 days gives me a little bit more content. Resorts, actually, people are looking for that because it's summertime and they're looking for holiday resorts. Childcare near me, of course. All right, so we may need to expand out the time. And I'm looking at a web search. If we were focused on just YouTube search, we could, or Google Shopping, products that they have around all of these different items and topics, we could do that as well. Okay. All right, everybody. I know we spent some time on that, but I wanted to spend some time there. Now you have a whole lot more in your actual slide deck because you see that I actually talk about those core challenges. We already discussed that a moment ago, and I talk about the core beliefs, but then I launch into Google Analytics. And I know we won't have enough time to talk about Google Analytics, but it does help show you where you can focus. So for example, in Google Analytics, let me show you something real quick. Actually, I'm going to bring it up here. I'm going to go past Google Search Console right now, and I'm just going to go to Google Analytics real quick because I want you to see, and you have all these slides available to you right here. Acquisition. Where do people come from when they come to your site? When you see direct on your website, when you see that actually on your analytics, that you're getting direct traffic, what that means to you is that people know your name. So you've done a great job with brand awareness. So if you're spending a lot on brand awareness, you need to back off of that and maybe spend on other things so that you can get found other places, but your brand awareness is perfect right there. Cross network usually means that's an ad. So those are usually CPC, cost per click, or PPC, pay per click ads. And those are cross network, showing across several different places like YouTube, Google search, maybe even in somebody's Gmail account. Referral, just like it sounds, is referral. Paid search, that's where you paid actually to be in the search in Google search. So you want to show up high with an ad. Or organic search, which means all of your organic efforts are working. So those are some of the ways that you can actually read your Google Analytics, which is important. But now we're 1 minute till, so I apologize that we took so long. I was really getting into Google Trends, but I love when I can show it to you. I really do love when I can actually showcase exactly how to do things in a live demo. It just takes a little bit of time to switch between screens. So the next time we get together, we'll talk a little bit more about Google Analytics and really how you can use that. And then Google Search Console, which is the door to Google's library. How do you use that? How do you enter things in? What does that mean when you measure things in there? Now, if you've got specific questions about that, I'm going to hang around here and answer those questions. But before we go, when you do get your copy of your slides, and I'm going to drop that again here in the chat box so you can get a copy of the slides, because after the session's over, I'm going to take it out of that folder. You won't find it there, but it will be emailed to you as well as the recording. I'm also going to go ahead and stop the recording